When you're behind on your mortgage payments, man, it can really feel like you're lost in the woods without a map. So today, we're going to draw that map. We are going to break down every single option you have when you're facing foreclosure, and we'll lay out a clear, understandable path forward.
Let's just start with the most important thing I want you to hear today. Facing foreclosure is not a dead end. It's really more like a crossroads. The key is just figuring out which way to turn, and that is exactly what we're going to explore right now.
So, that big, overwhelming question is probably just swirling in your head. What do I do now? It is so easy to get completely paralyzed by the stress and the uncertainty. But what if we could take that huge question and just simplify it down to two fundamental choices? Okay, let's get right into it. Every single option out there pretty much falls into one of these two paths. Path number one is all about saving your home. Keeping the property, getting your finances back on solid ground. Path number two is about a strategic exit, selling your property in a smart way to take care of the debt. And listen, neither path is right or wrong. It's all about finding what's right for your specific situation.
So let's dig into path number one first. If your main goal, your number one priority, is to stay in your home, what can you actually do? Well, there are two main strategies to look at.
And here they are. The first option is to reinstate your loan. Now that just means you pay the full amount you're behind, including any fees, in one lump sum to get totally current. If that's not really in the cards for you, don't worry, there's a second option, applying for a loan modification. So what exactly is a loan modification? It's not a new loan. Think of it as a permanent change to the one you already have. Your lender might agree to do things like lower your interest rate, maybe stretch out the loan over more years, or sometimes even reduce the principal you owe. It's all done for one reason, to make your monthly payments affordable again, for good. It's a negotiation, really, aimed at a long-term fix.
But, what if saving the home isn't the right move for you? Or maybe it's just not possible? Well, that brings us to path number two. And it is so important how we frame this. This is not about giving up, not at all. It's about taking control of the situation and choosing a smart exit that protects your financial future as much as possible.
Under this path, you've got a few different plays you can run. You could look into something called a short sale. We'll get into what that is in a second. You could go the traditional route and list your home with a real estate agent. Or, if time is your biggest enemy, you could sell it quickly for cash. Each of these has its own mix of pros and cons when it comes to time, effort, and how it all shakes out financially.
Okay, let's define that key term, a short sale. This is when the bank actually agrees to let you sell the house for whatever it's worth on the market today, even if that's less than what you still owe them. Now, you might be thinking, why on earth would a bank agree to that? Well, honestly, the foreclosure process is a huge, expensive headache for them too. Sometimes it's just a better financial move for them to accept a smaller loss now than a bigger one later. It can be a complicated process, but it's a really powerful option to have.
So we've laid it all out. The two main paths, saving your home or exiting with dignity. We've looked at the specific plays you can run within each path, and now we're at the most important part. What do you do with all this information? And I really want you to let this sink in. Facing foreclosure can make you feel like life is just happening to you. But by understanding these paths, you get to flip that script. You go from being reactive to being proactive. You have choices. You have the power to make a decision that can steer the outcome.
This is the question you have to ask yourself. And there's no single right answer for everyone. It completely depends on your personal finances, your goals, your family situation. Is the top priority to stay in that home no matter what? Or is it maybe more important to get a completely fresh financial start, even if that means moving? Look, at the end of the day, the goal here is to just give you some clarity, because knowledge is the best weapon against feeling overwhelmed. When you truly understand your options, you can make a decision without all that pressure, based on what's really, truly best for you. And that right there is the first and most powerful step you can take.